They said the music teacher was the sweetest staff member at St. Iver's Academy for Girls. Her name was Miss Bell. Her hair was always pinned into a perfect bun. Her long grey skirts floated just above the ground. Her voice, when she spoke, was softer than the autumn wind through the window panes. She never raised her tone, never showed frustration. She just smiled. Every morning, while the courtyard mist still hugged the hedges, she'd walk through the music wing with an old brass handbell in her fingers, silent, but always in motion, always gliding. If you greeted her, she'd nod politely. If you stared too long, she'd tilt her head and ring the bell once. No one knew what that meant, but something was wrong. No one remembered seeing her eat. Not at breakfast, lunch, or the school's formal dinners. Even during tea hour, when staff mingled in the parlor, she'd just sit, hands folded, nodding along to conversations she never participated in. She didn't carry a bag. She didn't wear a watch. She never seemed to leave the grounds. Even stranger, she never aged. Some girls claimed their older sisters had seen her 10 years ago, and she looked exactly the same. Not youthful, not old, just fixed, like a photograph pinned in time. The oldest teachers avoided talking about her. An institution, one said vaguely. A remnant, muttered another. Nobody ever explained what those words meant. The music room was always locked at night, but girls in Dorm C swore they heard piano keys, not notes, just one, the same low D again and again, thunk, thunk, thunk. Some nights it was followed by the gentle chime of a handbell, soft, deliberate, as if summoning something. A student named Felicity once snuck in after hours on a dare. She only stayed 10 minutes before running back in tears, clothes soaked in sweat, mouth clamped shut. She never spoke of what she saw. Weeks later, her parents arrived without warning. No hugs, no goodbyes. She left like a parcel, and when someone checked her dorm, her belongings were gone. Even her bed frame was missing. A week later, a new girl named Ruth was moved into the room. The school told them, "We needed the space." No one asked what happened to Felicity's things. There were none. The student register began glitching. In odd ways, a girl named Seda noticed it first. She'd been in Form 3 for 2 years, always seated in the middle of row C. Then one morning, her name wasn't called. Must be a mistake, she told herself. But on the laminated chart beside the door, her name was gone too, vanished, not misspelled, not scratched out, just missing. The spot she once occupied had no record. She tried to tell the teachers. They smiled. "You're not on this list. Are you sure you're meant to be here?" That night, Sade packed her own bag, but her roommate swore she never left. The next morning, the bed was made, the pillow smooth, but Sade was gone, not just from the dorm, from the photos, from the house leaderboard, from memory. Only her roommate remembered, and she stopped mentioning it after Miss Bell passed by their room, humming an unfamiliar lullaby. They say the bell Miss Bell carried was from an old chapel that burned down before the school was built. No one knows how she got it, but there were rules, unspoken ones. Rule 1, never follow her if you hear her humming. No one knew the tune. It didn't sound like anything real. No structure, no beat, just breathy, drifting syllables like nursery rhymes, warped by time. Rule 2, if she smiles at you during assembly, don't smile back. A girl named Eloise did once. That evening, she was found inside the storage closet, beneath the gym stage, curled into a perfect spiral. Her eyes were open, her heart was still. No bruises, no injuries. No cause. The school said it was a seizure, but the cleaners who found her said the air in that closet rang like metal when they opened the door, a faint echo of a bell. By the second term, the remaining girls learned to avoid the West Hall after dusk. That's where Miss Bell's music room was. Some said they saw her gliding past the glass in long shadows, her bell glowing faintly like a lantern in fog. Some said if you looked through the window long enough, you'd see your own name scratched into the underside of the grand piano lid, and if your name was there, you'd start hearing music in your dreams, always the same chord, low D over and over and over. One girl, Talia, tried to investigate. She came from a family of priests, and she didn't scare easy. She stayed up one night with a recorder and snuck into the music room when the halls were empty. The next morning, her recorder was found on her desk, still recording. 12 hours of silence. Talia was gone, vanished. The security footage showed no one entering or exiting the building. But at 3:17 a.m., the cameras briefly glitched, just for 2 seconds. And when the screen returned, the grand piano's lid had closed itself. On the black lacquer surface, a handprint, small, feminine, burned in. Eventually, the school chaplain made a statement. Miss Bell has retired from her teaching role due to health concerns. But she was still seen, not in staff meetings, not in her room, but in mirrors, in windows, in puddles after rain, never moving, just watching. And when the music room was renovated, a worker claimed they found something wedged behind the walls. A book of handwritten lullabies. Some were in Latin, some in a language that couldn't be traced. One had no words, just 7 crude drawings of faceless children circling a woman holding a bell. When the workers reported it, the project was halted. The hallway was reclassified as unsafe and blocked off. Years passed. New students came. Miss Bell was just a story now, a whispered dare, an excuse to keep quiet at night. But some girls still hear things. That bell. Bishar, low D, the whisper behind their ears. Would you like to learn your song? And if you turn, and she's there, if she tilts her head and rings the bell once, don't blink, don't answer, don't move, because she only smiles when your name is next. And if you hear music playing from an empty room, close the door, pray. The bell doesn't ring, because once you've heard your song, you won't need a bed anymore. You'll be part of the music forever.